Tonight, we get a first look at a new documentary on UAPs and what government officials may know about top secret programs on the subject. It features testimony from 34 high-ranking government officials. My colleague Brett Baer speaks with the director and producer of The Age of Disclosure.
We've had repeated instances of something operating in the airspace over restricted nuclear facilities, and it's not ours.
They have both deactivated and activated nuclear weapons with both the United States and Russia.
These are otherworldly things that are performing maneuvers that haven't been seen.
The UAP activity surrounding nuclear weapons is not a historic issue. It's an ongoing issue.
Well, joining us now to talk about his new film, The Age of Disclosure, is director and producer Dan Farah. He says the documentary reveals an 80-year cover-up of non-human intelligent life and a secret war among major nations to reverse engineer advanced technology of non-human origin. The film will be released in select theaters in New York, Washington, and Los Angeles on November 21st. Also available worldwide to purchase and rent on Prime Video. Dan, thanks for being here. You've been working on this for more than 3 years, and you say this is going to be a groundbreaking documentary.
Yeah. I interviewed 34 extremely high-level military, government intelligence officials who all have direct knowledge of this issue. Much of what they know is classified, but in this film they break their silence on what they can lawfully disclose.
I mean, there's a lot of skepticism, as you know. There's a lot of stigmatism about this issue. But as you're talking to all of these people and you're building these blocks for this movie, you get to the point where it's not a matter of if it's happening or if it's real.
Yeah, so every single person I interviewed made it very clear that it was no longer a question of whether this was a real situation. It's a very real situation.
Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe.
Humanity is not the only intelligent species.
We are absolutely not alone.
Non-human intelligence exists.
UAPs are real, they're here, and they're not human.
The questions now are, who's controlling these UAP? Where do they come from? And what is their intention?
This sounds, I mean, it's hard for everybody to digest. And an 80-year cover-up with a country that keeps it deep and dark, and it hasn't gotten out. That's the tough part for people to buy into.
Yeah, so a number of the officials in my film make it clear that a long time ago, this topic was moved away from congressional oversight and even away from the oversight of the President of the United States. And there are certain elements within our government and within defense contractors that have really been gatekeeping the knowledge about this topic.
And there are people in this film who are respected in their fields who say they have seen these craft and have seen the recovered non-human bodies.
I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
They go on the record about the fact that there have been crashed craft that have been recovered. In some cases, there's been non-human bodies in these craft, they claim. And these are people who are putting their reputation and their names on the line. You know, often you hear people say, show me the evidence. In my opinion, 34 extremely credible people putting their name and reputation on the line is the best evidence, because we live at a time where you can put a video or a photo out and everyone will, half the people out there will say it's fake or
because
AI.
AI and everything else. The title is Age of Disclosure, and do you think that this is going to start something bigger? The premise of this is that there is a race to reverse engineer what has been recovered by different countries, essentially competing against one another.
Yeah, so one of the big reveals in the film that a number of the interview subjects share is that elements of the U.S. government are in a high-stakes secret Cold War race with adversarial nations like China and Russia to reverse engineer technology of non-human origin.
The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of a UAP task force.
You think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of domination?
This is similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
We won the atomic race, and we used the bomb to end World War II, and we became the definitive superpower for the next 100 years as a result. The fear here is that if another nation wins this race, it could really change the lay of the land in terms of power.
But for the people who are still skeptical, still can't get their head around it, they're going to watch this, maybe they'll have their eyes opened, but many might ask, why now? Why is it happening now?
So for a very long time, the public, Congress, and even the president have been kept out of the loop on this subject. In the last few years, senior members of Congress, senior members of the administration, thanks to whistleblowers, have found out what's been going on. And they are now in pursuit of the truth for themselves and for the American people.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis, but that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
I think it's only a matter of time at this point before we have a sitting president step to the microphone and have the biggest moment a leader can possibly have, which is telling all of humanity that we're not alone in the universe and that the United States intends to lead the way.
Could it be President Trump?
I think it could be. I think Rubio is one of the most informed people in the United States with regard to this topic. And right now he's our Secretary of State and our National Security Advisor. And I know that he considers this an extremely important topic.
If you were to say, what's one thing that people take out of this hour, obviously the bombshell of what all of these people are saying, but where do you think it goes from here? There's such a stigma around talking about this, and people joke about it. This seems like it takes it to a different place.
In our country, we have this very antiquated stigma around the topic. If someone said, hey, there's this constant terrorist threat, terrorists are penetrating the airspace over nuclear weapons sites, who would laugh at that? It makes no sense.
Right. November 21st, it comes out, and it'll be all over the country?
Yeah, so worldwide on Prime Video for purchase or rent, or in theaters in New York, LA, and DC.
All right, we'll look for it. Dan, thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.